You're welcome to my Father Taught Me series, Volume 5, Series 57, titled Wisdom and Knowledge Sold to Mammon Keeps Humanity in Bondage of the Paymaster. Beloved brethren, this Series 57 appears to be the zenith of the sum total of MFTMS Volume-5, made up of 57 of the 57th series. As such, it is spirit uplifting and highly beneficial in blessings to every believer, every messenger of truth of the Most High and Christ, and all recipients of MFTMS who are encouraged to pay peak attention to the free spiritual messages being unveiled in this presentation, dealing with the issues of the past, the present, the future, and beyond, according to the in-depth gospel of Christ to the world, which gospel shall enable us in spirit to recognize the impact of the hand of the Most High in benevolence unto humanity and the world through the righteousness of Christ, and also to appreciate the spiritual battles already fought and being fought for the sake of redeeming the world from the apocalypse intended by the serpent unto humanity, the serpent of whom was called the thief, as stated in the book of John chapter 10 verse 10. I quote, "The thief cometh not, but for to steal and to kill and to destroy," unquote. Contrary to the salvation and the gift of life by Christ, as stated in the same book and same verse of John chapter 10 verse 10. I quote, "I am come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly," unquote. And we say amen to the gift of life according to the words of Christ, which words of spirit are stated in the book of John chapter 6 verse 63. I quote, "It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life." These are the words of spirit as stated by Christ. So far, MFTMS, my Father Taught Me series 57 of Volume 5, is the 254th message delivered as received to the world via the YouTube channel. You may just Google Steve Mojugbe's YouTube channel, or on the alternative, search YouTube small case letters MFTMS. That's all. And to motormark messengers of truth of the Most High and Christ, the discreet elects of the Most High, and to 11,320 YouTube viewers to date, conveying the in-depth gospel of Christ, covering the essentials of the scriptures from Genesis to Revelation, in purity, in simplicity, and holistically in the original words of the original scripture, delivered free to the world without any financial encumbrances to the recipients, according to the injunction in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 12 to 16. Now, we have received not the spirit of the world, but the Spirit which is of the Most High, that we might know the things that are freely given to us of the Most High, which things also we speak, not in the words which man's wisdom teacheth, but which the Holy Spirit teacheth, comparing spiritual things with spiritual. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of the Most High, for they are foolishness unto him, neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. But he that is spiritual judgeth all things, yet he himself is judged of no man. For who hath known the mind of the Most High, that he may instruct him? But we have the mind of Christ. Unquote. Also, in the context of Christ's words in the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 20 to 22, behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him, and he with me. To him that overcometh will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I also overcame, and am set down with my Father in his throne. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. Unquote. And now, beloved brethren, back to the titled subject matter, Volume 5, Series 57, titled Wisdom and Knowledge Sold to Mammon Keeps Humanity in Bondage of the Paymaster. So this is the beginning of this last series. Let's start with the importance of the following words used in the stated title above. Let's start with the word wisdom, because we said wisdom and knowledge sold to Mammon keeps humanity in bondage of the paymaster. So, wisdom was described in the book of Job, chapter 28, verse 28. I quote, "And unto man he said, Behold, the fear of the Most High, that is wisdom, and to depart from evil or iniquity is understanding." Unquote. Also in the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 13 to 15, I quote, "Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold. She is more precious than rubies, and all things thou canst desire are not to be compared unto her." Unquote. Now we go to the next word, which is the importance of knowledge. Knowledge is simply, in spiritual terms, the commandments of the Most High. Let's check this out in the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge." That is, lack of the understanding of the commandment of the Most High. "Because thou hast rejected knowledge, as you have rejected the commandment of the Most High, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy Creator." The law of thy Creator simply means the commandment of the Most High. Like in the Garden of Eden, where Adam and Eve were told not to touch or eat of a tree in the midst of the Garden of Eden. So, the scriptures saying here that thou hast forgotten the law of thy creator. I will also forget thy children, unquote. Then the third is, what is mammon? Because we said that wisdom, knowledge and wisdom was sold to Mammon. So now, what is Mammon? Mammon is a term used to describe material wealth, riches, or the pursuit of gain, often with a negative connotation of its debasing or corrupting influence. Christ used the term to personify wealth as a master that competes with the Most High for a person's devotion, famously stating this quotation, "Ye cannot serve the Most High and Mammon." So Mammon's treasure keeps humanity in bondage of the paymaster. The book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 21 to 24. That's the fourth line of explanation. I quote, "For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also." So no man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve the Most High and Mammon, unquote. So that's why when wisdom and knowledge is sold to Mammon, it keeps humanity in bondage of the paymaster. Now, let us get back to the title proper, which is wisdom and knowledge sold to Mammon keeps humanity in bondage of the paymaster. The statement refers to the moral, social, and spiritual consequences of prioritizing financial gain, that is Mammon, over ethical, intellectual, and spiritual truths. It suggests that when human ingenuity and knowledge are commercialized, humanity becomes enslaved by the pursuit of money, serving a paymaster that thrives on greed rather than human betterment. Mammon as a paymaster is derived from Aramaic. Mammon refers to money, material wealth, or avarice. It is personified as a false god of spirit that competes with higher values for worship, such as the Most High or even human welfare. The paymaster consists of a system of greed that demands total loyalty in exchange for wealth. And that is what we find in our contemporary government of Nigeria today and all over the world. It's not limited to only Nigeria. Furthermore, bondage of humanity refers to a state where people are controlled by the need to accumulate wealth, leading to a loss of freedom. We get to understand this, for example, when the world powers provide aid to a nation, that nation loses its freedom. And when you lose your freedom, it increases anxiety and the neglect of spiritual or community-focused values. Furthermore, selling wisdom and knowledge represents the commodification of expertise, where research, invention, and intellectual efforts are directed solely towards profit maximization rather than solving human problems. The impact of commercialized knowledge is corruption of purpose. When knowledge is sold to the highest bidder, its purpose shifts from advancing society to serving narrow, profitable interests. For example, profit motivation can corrupt medical research where the goal of patient health is replaced by financial gain. The reckless pursuit of money leads to the bondage of slavery to greed. Greedy and exploitative behavior cause individuals to prioritize wealth over their obligations to others. Therefore, Mammon, the god of money, is often associated with a system that creates a divide between a few rich individuals and the majority, which majority are forced to live in fear of not having their needs met, which constitutes what can be described as systemic injustice. Satan's skill with creating a divide between a few rich individuals and the majority has been propagated in whatever type of government in place worldwide. From the wealthiest nation to the poorest nations of the world, the hand of Mammon is visible. Mammon has permeated every nook and cranny of the world with the power of the opium of money, used to intoxicate the heart of humanity. Thus, humanity is kept in perpetual bondage from generation to generations of communities who are forced to live in fear of not having their needs met. I'm sure everyone in Nigeria understands what I have just spoken. What has just been spoken. This is notwithstanding the increased enormous yokes of burden put upon humanity by principalities and powers that be. In the universal Mammon world order of governments of Babylon establishments, which has kept humanity in Mammon's bondage, the bondage of heavy yoke, by the choice we made freely but ignorantly. Having been deceived by Mammon to receive and eat of the fruit of the garden of our Eden. And such act in disobedience to the commandments of the Most High, and hence humanity faced the penalty of death till this day. Once again, wisdom and knowledge sold to Mammon keeps humanity in bondage of the paymaster. However, the antidote to this bondage of the paymaster is seen as the action to detaching self from the obsessive pursuit of money, but rather use wealth to serve others, with the spirit to prioritizing righteousness over financial gain. The core challenge is to ensure that knowledge and wisdom serve humanity and higher principles, rather than being enslaved by the need for financial compensation and all other things. In summary, the phrase wisdom and knowledge sold to Mammon keeps humanity in bondage of the paymaster warns that when the intellectual and moral wisdom and knowledge are bought by or sold to the selfish Mammon system, it creates a paymaster that traps humanity in a cycle of greed, fear, and subservience. At which point, Christ had appealed to us for his salvation, as stated in the book of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 28 to 30. I quote, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." Come unto me, said Christ, because Christ served humanity in knowledge and wisdom by providing a divine framework for such living that transcends selfish human reasoning to that of Christ that focuses on love, sacrifice, and spiritual transformation. It offers a higher set of principles, often referred to as the wisdom from above, that guide individuals toward righteousness, peace, and purposeful living, rather than just personal gain that we spend our entire life pursuing until we enter our graves. The wisdom from above serves humanity in recentering life on divine principles, based on the principle of the fear of the Most High, by recognizing the Most High as the source of all knowledge, which promotes a life of reverence and humility rather than prideful independence. A higher moral code and teachings, particularly the Sermon on the Mount, which provide an unwavering moral standard that emphasizes character over mere rule following. The knowledge of Christ that works from the inside out, transforming motives, thoughts, and feelings to align with divine spirit rather than worldly in wisdom. Christ had come to redefine the word we know as love. Christ has come to define relationships called self-sacrificial love. Christ's wisdom elevates love from a feeling to an action, specifically putting the needs of others before one's own, as demonstrated in the words and works of Christ's gospel, according to the book of John, chapter 15, verse 12 to 20. I quote, "This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. Ye are my friends, if you do whatsoever I command you. Henceforth I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth. But I have called you friends. For all things that I have heard of my Father, I have made known unto you. Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you. I have chosen you, messengers of truth of the Most High, and Christ, and all believers, and ordained you that ye should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it you. These things I command you, that ye love one another. If the world hates you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. If you were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hated you. Remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also. Unquote. Christ had established the golden rule, the principle of treating others as one wants to be treated, that serves as a practical foundational guide for fostering harmonious relationships. Christ introduced forgiveness and grace instead of revenge or retaliation. The wisdom of Christ promotes forgiveness and mercy, breaking cycles of conflict, and thereby promoting true human salvation and being spiritually born again, according to the book of John chapter 3, verse 3 to 5. I quote, Christ answered and said unto him, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of the Most High. Nicodemus said unto him, How can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter the second time into his mother's womb and be born? Christ answered, Verily, verily, I say unto you, except a man be born of water and of the Spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom of the Most High. Unquote. The spiritual wisdom and knowledge displayed by Christ above provided answers to existential questions, directing individuals toward a life of significance rather than just survival, whose teachings of integrity and truth advocate for honesty and moral uprightness in all areas of life, from business to personal conduct, that encourage stewardship and responsible management of resources, time, and talents as stewards of the Most High's creation in the principle of being rewarded according to your works, indicating that actions, choices, and labor in this life hold spiritual significance with ultimate accountability upon Christ's return. Let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 16, verse 27. I quote, For the Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then he shall reward every man according to his works. Unquote. Meaning that the Most High evaluates both good and bad deeds, promising recompense for faithfulness, rewarding both intentional service and daily labor in all our actions. Meaning, every person will be judged for their deeds, not just their intentions. Christ encourages believers to live with intention, knowing their work is not in vain. A promise of justice and recognition, which reinforces that faith is expressed through tangible righteous actions. Christ's wisdom and knowledge showed by leadership example that true greatness is found in serving others, a principle that, when applied to leadership, fosters trust, collaboration, and ethical behavior in organizations that takes care of the vulnerable and compels society to protect the weak, poor, and marginalized while upholding the dignity of all life. In essence, therefore, when knowledge is sold to Mammon, it turns from a tool of liberation into a chains of bondage, leading to a life that is intellectually astute but spiritually empty and morally void. Beloved brethren, I repeat again to the contemporary generation, everything that Christ stood for in wisdom and knowledge, when sold to Mammon, keeps humanity in bondage of the paymaster. And that is the way to go to hell, prepared for the devil and its angels. Selling wisdom and knowledge to Mammon, the spirit of material greed and dishonest gain, transforms valuable divine-oriented understanding into a commodity of selfish worldly advancement that creates a profound inversion of values, leading to spiritual, personal, and social devastation. The primary consequences are spiritual deafness and loss of integrity. The love of money leads to abandoning spiritual truths and wandering from the faith, and it causes individuals to pierce themselves through with many sorrows. There is a case of theft of truth, where knowledge is no longer used to guide or illuminate, but to distort truth for personal gain and defend lies, of which wherefore man can no longer serve the Most High, of whom Christ did warn below that one cannot serve both the Most High and Mammon, meaning that selling knowledge to greed makes it impossible to remain truly committed to divine principles taught us by Christ. The most painful aspect of these misadventures of selling knowledge and wisdom to Mammon are situations where scriptures are used to justify greed or exploitations of people for financial gain. A continued focus on gain rather than righteousness, even in places of worship. What a lamentation. And that causes a person's conscience to become seared with a hot iron. All of the above lead to mental blindness, personal and emotional destruction, loss of peace and contentment, because Mammon offers false security which never satisfies. True peace and joy are replaced by anxiety as the individual becomes consumed with accumulating more and more of wealth. Insecurity in riches occur as a result of wealth gained through the sale of integrity, swallowed up or lost quickly because it lacks the foundation of wisdom. While promising freedom, Mammon enslaves the soul by forcing it to trust in wealth rather than providence of the Most High. According to the book of Matthew chapter 25 verse 40 to 46. And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me. Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, Depart from me, ye caused, into everlasting fire prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungered, and he gave me no meat. I was thirsty, and he gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and he took me not in. Naked, and he clothed me not. Sick, and in prison, and he visited me not. Then shall they also answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee an hungered, or athirst, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not minister unto thee? Then shall he answer them, saying, Verily I say unto you, As much as you did it not to one of the least of these, you did it not to me. And they shall go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into life eternal. Unquote. In essence, the wisdom and knowledge of Christ serves as a skill for living that transforms human life from being self-centered to the Most High-centered and neighbor-focused. Remain blessed. My name is Steve Emmanuel Mochugbe, a messenger, an author, a Nigerian. Copyrights reserved. MFTMseries.com.ng. Thank you for listening.